Hi friends, welcome. If it's your first time joining me, hey, I'm Shannon. You can find me here on YouTube and on Instagram at Shan on Crafts. That's Shan with two N's, .on.crafts. Just the same as you'll see under the video here. So, today we are here with another bag pattern review. For those of you who don't know, about a year ago I started sewing bags. I guess it's a little bit over a year now, but started sewing bags and just fell in love. As you can see, I'm a bit obsessed now, and I wanted to share with you some of the patterns that I have sewn and what I think of them. So I love these videos. I've seen other people do them, and I thought maybe it might be fun for someone who is more of like a adventurous beginner slash intermediate sewist to tell you what they thought making the patterns. So let's get into the bag patterns. So a lot of these are patterns in the last video that I did, because this is part 2. I showed you a lot of bags that I had made more recently. This time I'm going to show you patterns that I made really more towards the beginning of my sewing, and then the ones that I've made since that last video. So I hope you enjoy. There's no big purses in this one. This is more pouches and project bags and things of the sort. So let's just kind of dive right in. This one is one of the very first bags that I made. This is the Sew Together bag by Sew Demented. Maggie with an I mentioned on my last bag video about this, asking me if I've ever made it. I have made dozens of this bag. I love this bag. I'm obsessed with this bag. It's so great. So I made this bag using tutorials from Mr. Domestic, as well as, I believe it's Birdcage and Twine, or Birdcage and Thread. I'll have to link their videos down below, but really amazing tutorials on how to make this bag. You do have to purchase the pattern. It's not a free pattern, and you can buy it from Etsy, or many different quilt shops carry it as well. So you've got this easy carry handle. You open up the bag, and inside you have 4 pockets and 3 zippered pockets, so that act as dividers between the 4 pockets. So this is a great notion bag. Really great for taking on retreats, because you can set it on the desk and have everything really easily accessible to you. Great for beside the sewing machine, to have all your notions next to you. Cannot recommend this bag enough. I made the slightest modification in that I used foam instead of cotton woven to add a little bit more body, and I quilted it down. That's totally optional. You can use, like I said, fleece, which is a little bit less expensive, and it just won't be as like structured as this. It'll be a little bit more floppy. The biggest challenges in this bag, if you're intimidated by zippers, that might be a challenge. Zippers are not that big of a deal, I'll tell you right now. Where you're going to run into trouble is the side gusset, especially if you have a domestic machine that doesn't go through layers very well. This can be a little bit tricky, because you get a lot of bulk down here. But I did this on a domestic machine before I got my newer, more handy-dandy machine. This was on a really cheap Brother that I got on Amazon years and years ago, and I got through it. So just a little bit of patience and persistence, and when all else fails, you can hand stitch down the binding rather than try and sew through it. So great bag, Sew Demented, Sew Together bag. Okay, next is the By Annie Petit Four basket. So this is a free pattern on the By Annie website. There's a free tutorial on Fat Quarter Shop YouTube, and this comes together in just mere moments. It's just a really good beginner pattern to teach you how to use the foam, the soft and stable. So this is fun, really good for keeping your little whatever trinkets, clover clips, etc. Is that what it's called? Clover Wonder Clips? Yeah. So there's that. Another free pattern by Annie is the Easy Does It bag. I love this bag. It's really fun. It's her free tutorial that teaches you how to install a zipper, create a 3D bag, as well as how to attach an interior binding. So let me just flip this around for you. Now, it may be a bit dirty because I had makeup in here. But it teaches you how to do the joint binding. Don't look too closely because this is the one of... It was the very first bag I bound, that's for sure. And the binding did not turn out great, but lovely bag, really fun. It only comes in the one size, but like I said, it's a free pattern. And I believe you can make it with a fat quarter, like 2 fat quarters, one for the interior, one for the exterior, and sorry, a third one for the binding. So good for if you have maybe like a little fat quarter bundle or something. The Hackney Pouch by So Sweetness. This is a part of Minikin Season 3 patterns. I made this for my Switch Lite case, and this is the small. It comes in small, medium, and large. This is, I would say, like a adventurous beginner bag. It's fairly simple. You open it up, it's just a regular lined pouch, and then there is a mesh zipper up top. The only thing that's really super difficult about this is that, and if you watch my last bag pattern video, you'll remember I say anything that's rounded and small is trickier. That's just the way it goes. That's how it is. The larger one might be a better place to start. I, of course, cannot do anything easy. It's not in my nature, so I've made several of these. They're really fun. They're really good pencil cases. You could keep maybe like your charging cords and stuff in it. The possibilities are endless. Endless. This is the Ditty bag by Annie. This is another sort of like makeup bag or pencil pouch. This one is a paid pattern. Sorry, I'm talking so much. Trying to get everything in. This is a very simple bag to make. Even simpler than the Easy Does It, and I'll explain why. So this one is just 3 pieces. You've got this that wraps around to be the main fabric, and then you've got 2 little side gussets here. So that comes together super quickly. And then inside the binding is much simpler than the Easy Does It because it's not a joined binding. It's just a couple of simple pieces of binding. And they have edges, which makes it so simple. So I would almost recommend even starting with this bag, but I understand that you might want to start with the free one, which makes sense. And that's what I did, so. But I would say simpler than. Okay, this is a cross-stitch project bag. It's by What Saysie Makes, S-A-Y-S-I-E, and it is called the Stitch and Go case. Good for cross-stitch or embroidery. Please excuse my messy threads. But basically, this is a project folder. You get 20 individual bobbin slots with the vinyl. You get a vinyl zippered pocket with a slip pocket behind it, slip pocket up top. There's a little piece of felt to put your needles through, and then you get 2 large slip pockets that you can keep like maybe your pattern, and you could fit a smaller hoop or just your fabric back there as well. So this is really fun. It is a little bit more of a fabric intensive project, like because there's so many layers. It takes a little bit more fabric than a traditional fabric project bag, but it's really fun. It is a little bit more intensive again than a project bag, so I wouldn't probably make it for every project, but maybe for like a special project, or if you're the kind of person that does 1 or 2 projects at a time. Super fun. For somebody who has tons and tons and tons of WIPs, I wouldn't make one for every bag, but it's super fun and I recommend it for sure. Speaking of project bags, I've got the By Annie Project Bags 2.0. And this comes in, is it 4 different sizes. So I've got 3 of the 4 here. The only one that I haven't made is the small. So I've got the medium, which is closest to a traditional vinyl front project bag for cross stitch. It's slightly smaller though. And then we've got the large, which fits tightly an 11 by 11 Q-snap. And then we've got the jumbo, which is quite large and fits the 11 by 11 really well. So I think this one finishes off at 16 by 16, roughly, and the other one 13 by 13 and 10.5 by 12.5 for the medium. So these are really fun to put together. They're very simple. If you make the regular vinyl front project bags, this is not a huge stretch. From that, it is a little bit more of a commitment in that you are quilting down fabric. This one I made with fleece, so it's a little bit flimsier, which I don't know what I was thinking, because for the jumbo bag, you'd want more structure, I would think, but I clearly wasn't thinking. Anyways, this one I made with fleece. Typically, she recommends you use the foam, which gives it more structure, and I agree with that. But if you didn't want to spend the money on foam, you can do fleece as well. So really fun zipper install. You do have binding, which is not that hard, guys. It's super simple. Don't be so scared of binding. And if you're worried about how the binding will look, sew the binding on and then hand stitch it on top, and it'll look great. By Annie does really great videos for binding. She has free binding videos on her website. Don't be scared of binding. Don't be scared. I have a really great binding tool too that I use. I got this from my local quilt shop. I'm pretty sure you can get it on, I'm sure Fat Quarter Shop probably has it, and I'm sure Missouri Star Quilt also has it. You can probably get it from your local quilt shop, but it has helped me immensely. So, okay, next bag. I'm just rushing on through. This one, I had to write down the name. What is it called? This is the book sleeve by Sewn Ideas. And there is a video tutorial for this, not by Sewn Ideas, but by someone else. It's not a free pattern. You do have to purchase it from Sewn Ideas, but I will link that video tutorial down below because it was fantastic. So this comes in 2 sizes, the small and the large. This is the small, and it holds sort of like a regular, I don't know what you would call it. I don't have the dimensions on me, but it holds a nice size book. The large would be better for maybe more hardcovers. And it has a front slip pocket, which is great because I can keep my Kindle in there. And then there is also a zipper pocket, maybe if you want to keep your, if you're someone who annotates maybe like a pen or tabs, etc. This would also be good for holding, like I said, a Kindle, or maybe the larger one, a small iPad or tablet, whatever. So super fun, easy to make. I whipped this one up in, I think, maybe like an hour, hour and a half. So great pattern. The next pattern, we're getting there. Stash and Dash case by Annie. This one, don't look too closely at the binding, but it's got a strap to keep it closed. You open it up and it's got 3 mesh zippered pockets. This is really good for like an emergency case for a car. Keep medications in, you can keep band-aids in, you can carry English paper piecing with you, travel. That's really great. And then on the back side, there is a vinyl slip pocket. Stash and Dash. And then the next one is the By Annie All Aboard, it's called. It's a train case pattern. And it comes in 3 sizes. I made the small. And I made this one for my diamond painting drills. So the small holds 2 of these drill cases from Amazon. Sorry. And it also fits everything else, you know, your trays, your pens, etc. So this was super fun to make. I made it in an evening. You've got a mesh slip pocket, and then a pocket in the back here as well, a little tiny one. And the most challenging thing about this is the join binding. Other than that, it is incredibly simple to put together. Love, love, love that. I plan to make the larger one for a train case for makeup. Just need time. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I don't know where, but we're getting somewhere. Okay, these are the Bitty Boxy pouches. I don't know who originally made the pattern, but I will link Okla Roots YouTube video tutorial on these. These are so simple, so fun. It's a free pattern. Great, great, great stash buster. So I made myself a Q-snap cover and used the remaining bit from the strip to make this. I think you only need like I think it's like a 6.5 by 5 piece of fabric for the outer fabric. So really great for using up those scraps. I added mine to a little wristlet, but you can also just use the claw and clip it to things. I love this for AirPods, hand sanitizer, masks, change, the list goes on. It's got a lined inside, no raw edges. It's super fun, super quick. I've made so many of these now that I can make one in like 5 minutes. Just super fun. So love those. Highly recommend. I gave everyone at my work one for gift last year with the mask and hand sanitizer. Super fun. This is the Day Tripper wallet by So Sweetness. I love this pattern. I love this bag. It is fantastic. The trickiest part is that there are quite a few layers, so it does get a little bit trickier to sew, but towards the end when you're turning everything out. But it's a great little pattern. You've got 2 options. You can either do the top slip pocket, or you can have a sideways flap. This is great. It fits my iPhone 12 with a very large case on it inside. And then inside I've got a slip pocket. I've got 4 card slots with a slip pocket at the back and 2 zippered pockets. So very customizable and really fun. You could do it, she teaches you how to do it as a crossbody, and there's a wristlet. The video that comes with the pattern is fantastic. Highly recommend. And if you do make Sarah's patterns from So Sweetness, I suggest joining the Facebook group, because I believe her name's Michelle Graham, who moderates. She adds in so many great tips and tricks on ways to modify bags. So check those out. And oh, there's stuff everywhere. This is the tambourine bag. I will have to insert the designer's name because her name literally just escaped me, but this comes in 2 different sizes. This is the small, there's also a large, and it can be a crossbody bag. I am using it to hold my rulers, my circle rulers, so I didn't make the strap, but I've made it so I can hang it on my pegboard and keep my rulers safe and where they're supposed to be. This is a really great pattern. You can make it as a bag for a small child, the small one, or a bag for yourself, the large one. Really fun. It is a joined binding inside, so that was tricky. I'm not gonna lie. The circular, small, joined binding, it tested my patience. But when all was said and done, I loved it. All right, we're down to the last 2. Woohoo! Okay, Clam Up by Annie. This is a great bag pattern. It comes with 5 different sizes: extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. This is the small. It's a great little flat bottom bag, so it sits nice on the counter. It's got a double zipper, so it opens all the way up. And then the great thing about this has got some of my makeup in, sorry, is that it's got a side gusset so that your stuff will not fall out. So you can get it right wide open. Things aren't going to go flying around. It's fantastic. I've made so many of these for gifts. Everyone loves them. And they come together super quickly. Super quickly. All right. And the last bag pattern is actually a Kindle case. So this one is by whipstitch.com, whip-stitch.com. And it is super fun, super simple. It does come with a video tutorial. It's a free pattern. So this is for the Kindle Paperwhite. You may have to modify it for other Kindles, I'm not sure. So it's got the fold over elastic so that you can keep it shut. It is got the fleece to give some protection. You could do it with foam as well. There's a slip pocket that you can keep the Kindle in when you're not using it. And then this here has tabs that you can tuck your Kindle into to hold it in place while you are reading. Phenomenal pattern. I made this in less than an hour. It's super fun. Will make again. So that's it. That is what I have for you for bags. Like I said, if you do have any questions or if you need me to go in more depth about something that I've made or talked about, you can message me on Instagram. You can find me there and send me a message. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that it has inspired you to want to sew something as well. I absolutely love sewing. I love seeing what other people are making. The creativity within the sewing community is off the charts. It's so cool. And I'm just like a crazy bag lady. I love having a bag for everything. It just makes everything a little bit more pretty and exciting. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.